You know me, I never had any intention to become a YouTube creator. I I use the platform the way that it used to be used, which was, to discuss important stuff and, to bring up, you know, our opinions and everything. And, sometimes people were funny, sometimes they weren't, sometimes it was just, people shared jokes and everything. And I miss kind of old YouTube format where it was just somebody talking to a camera. But anyways, when an unelected tech billionaire is effectively orchestrating a coup of the U.S. government, violating federal law with apparent impunity, and just claiming all responsibility for the chaos he's causing, the Democrats have identified their top priority: repealing Section 230. Now, I came out and I penned an article for Some of the World's. Dick Durbin is an out of touch, unthoughtful moron. Dear Democrats, I'm very sorry to have to write that. I don't like having to battle my own allies, but we're on the same team. But it seems old Dick is trying to make a boneheaded move, which has me leaving voicemails with Senator Wyden and Jeff Merkley. Which, by the way, I would urge you to call your senators about this one, especially if they happen to be Democrats, and urge them to batten down the hatches because welcome to hell, something important enough to cause infighting within the party is going down. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, that's a fair question. Section 230 is basically, what the law stipulates is that, these platforms that enable users to use them on the internet are not really responsible for what their users happen to upload to the platform. That's really what Section 230 stipulates, in its more basic format. But, there seems to be like moves now that people trying to repeal it under, any cost, basically repealing it. They say that they're doing this, to remove big tech's immunity, but big tech will only get stronger if Section 230 is repealed. It will only strengthen big tech's hands because scrappy upstarts like, oh, I don't know, Similar Worlds, where I wrote this for, can't afford armies of lawyers, but Facebook can. I'm sure the staff here would agree when they realize that the implications of being responsible for everything, and liable for everything their users happen to upload, that, they would agree with me whether they are able to say so publicly or not, due to an unwillingness to embrace the controversial nature of how this one happened to be written, you know but this is all important stuff. You might think in a moment in which democracy seems to be unraveling and the American experiment teetering on the brink, the democratic leadership would focus on, I don't know, preserving the basic functions of government. But no, they've decided what we really need now is to demolish the legal framework that makes online discourse possible. Senate Judiciary Democrats, Judiciary Dems, enough is enough. We're introducing a bill to remove big tech's legal immunity this week. Forgive the lack of a profile image on that screenshot. At the time I made the screenshot, literally every profile image on X is just a gray circle because things are operating great over there. The boss is away destroying the country. Senator Dick Durbin is the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, and he has emerged with only can be described as a master class in missing the point. In a press release that was written in an alternative universe where the biggest threat to democracy is, let's go check our notes, website comment section. Durbin has announced his excitement about taking away Section 230. This week, Durbin will join U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham, Sheldon Whitehouse, John Hartley, Amy Klobuchar, and Martha Blackburn to introduce a bill that would sunset Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act for 2 years. Section 230 and the legal immunity it provides to big tech has been on the books since 1996, long before social media became a part of our our daily lives. To the extent this protection was ever needed, its usefulness has long since passed. Bullshit, it's past. Let's unpack this for a moment. At a time in which an unelected billionaire is effectively running the government via his own social media platform, Democrats have decided to partner with Squints Harder, Squint Squint, the very Republicans who have been helping enable this takeover to eliminate the law that makes alternative social media platforms possible in the first place. The thing is, this isn't just regular old political malpractice. This is advanced political malpractice. We've known for years that these Republican senators have been quite open to their plans to use Section 230's removal as a weapon against speech they don't like. It's right there in their public statements. This isn't some clever chess move. It's handing matches to an arsonist who has loudly declared his intention to burn your house down while insisting it's necessary to improve fire safety. But Durbin's fundamental mischaracterization of Section 230 as mere legal immunity for big tech betrays willful ignorance or calculated misdirection. Section 230 is at its core a shield for speech. Your speech, my speech, everyone's speech. It protects individuals and small websites far more than it protects Silicon Valley giants. It's what keeps you safe when you forward an email or share a post. It enables sites for people to review doctors or mechanics or employers. It's what makes it possible for Wikipedia to exist. It enables the very digital discourse that we need to maintain democracy. The dumbest part, removing Section 230 would actually entrench big tech's power, not diminish it. The giants would survive just fine. Most cases of them would still fail on First Amendment grounds. Most cases against them would still fail on First Amendment grounds. But defending free speech under the First Amendment is far more complex and expensive than, Section 230's straightforward protection. Meta, Google, and their ilk have armies of lawyers to handle this. Everyone else, not so much. This explains why Mark Zuckerberg has been practically begging Congress to eliminate Section 230. It's not that he suddenly developed a burning passion for content moderation reform. It's because he looked at the math and realized, hey, we can afford buildings of lawyers, our competitors can't. When Zuckerberg advocates for eliminating Section 230, he's not confessing his sin. He's pitching his business plan. Without Section 230, big tech would be fine. First of all, in nearly all cases that are filed against websites would still lose because almost all of these decisions are protected by the First Amendment. But this is an important part. Having to defend it under the First Amendment is way more expensive and takes way longer, which means smaller dependents with the defendants, especially, will cave in to threats. The end result is that big tech gets bigger, smaller platforms disappear, and the monopolies that Durbin claims to be fighting become actual monopolies now with congressional approval. It's like trying to punish Standard Oil by making it illegal for anyone except Standard Oil to sell kerosene. Durbin's claim that Section 3230 has long since passed isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. The law is now more vital than ever, as demonstrated by countless cases where it's protected essential online discourse, which I have no problem linking you to the proof in the underbar to this video from TechDirt. 5 cases that made, Section 230 cases that made online communities better. Durbin is proposing to demolish the very legal framework that would make such dialogue possible. The consequences would be predictable and devastating, a cascade of frivolous lawsuits designed to silence critic and suppress inconvenient truths. Without Section 230's efficient dismissal process, even completely baseless legal threats become effective censorship tools. Think about it. If you're running a small community forum and someone threatens to sue you because they don't like a user's post about their business, what are you going to do? Spend thousands of dollars defending the First Amendment rights or just take down the post? This isn't theoretical, it's basic economics. The end result is that it becomes much easier to suppress dissent. The timing of the crusade against 230 isn't particularly revealing. What democracy is under the timing of this crusade against Section 230 is particularly revealing. Why democracy itself is under assault, why an unelected billionaire consolidates unprecedented power over our government system. Durbin has chosen to champion a proposal that would 1. Make big tech even more powerful, 2. Hand megaforce as a powerful weapon for silencing opposition through illegal harassment, 3. Cripple the digital infrastructure needed for organizing democratic resistance. This isn't just Durbin being out of touch, though at 80 years old, that's certainly part of it. This is a catastrophic misreading of both technology and democracy that would be almost comical if it weren't so dangerous. Here we have a Democratic leader eagerly collaborating with the very senators actively undermining democracy on legislation that would further enable their authoritarian aims while apparently convinced that he's doing something about, quote, big tech, unquote. The Democrats desperately need new leadership, and not because Dick Durbin doesn't understand how the internet works. They need leaders who understand that defending democracy it requires actually defending the tools that make democratic discourse possible. Instead, we have Durbin essentially proposing to solve the problem of book burning by making it illegal to publish books. His Section 230 crusade makes it painfully clear he's not just the wrong leader for this moment. He is actively making things worse. I adamantly urge Senator Juan Wyden and Jeff Merkley to filibuster this bill. Kill it.